Good evening, I'm Jeff Hastings. This is CTV News at 5. Tonight, New Year's Eve in Edmonton, the options and attractions as Alberta's capital city rings in 2026. Here they go again, another major water main break in Calgary. And Olympic roster announced who will join Connor McDavid as he skates for gold.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Jeff Hastings.
We are just hours away from a new year, and preparations are underway for 2 fireworks shows over downtown Edmonton tonight. The city is ringing in the new year with the traditional fireworks display at midnight, as well as one at 8 p.m. for those who may not want to stay out as late. You can see the fireworks from Churchill Square or from City Hall Plaza. In the square, there will be live music, food trucks, and skating with free skate rentals. Inside City Hall, there are crafts and other activities. The city says New Year's Eve downtown is so much more than a 10-minute fireworks show.
To be able to have Arts District activated, Entertainment District activated, our partners in the Ice District, all the businesses and restaurants are putting on something fun and festive for New Year's Eve. So I see it as a great night where people can come to downtown, be in multiple spaces, see multiple things.
And just a hop, skip, and a jump away in Ice District, there will be an Oilers tailgate and watch party. Canadian country artist Owen Riegling will be taking the stage at 10:45 before the big countdown, fireworks, and a midnight set from DJ Vavo.
This is what the Ice District was built for. This is what the plaza was designed to be able to do, to host these community events that people can come down for free, enjoy these celebrations, enjoy being a part of the community, and nothing more Canadian than what we've got going on tonight.
The city is encouraging people to take transit to get around tonight. LRT and buses are free starting at 6 p.m. until the end of service at around 3 a.m. on New Year's Day. For a full list of activities in and around the Edmonton area tonight, visit our website, ctvnewsedmonton.ca. An Alberta MLA facing recall is resigning. In a statement on social media, UCP MLA Rebecca Schulz says it's time to seek new opportunities in her career. She served as MLA for Calgary-Shaw since 2019, becoming Minister of Environment and Protected Services in 2023. Schulz will resign as Minister Friday and serve as MLA until May. One political analyst says the decision to resign now could be about election preparedness.
The fact she's stepping down from cabinet now and giving government time to establish someone new in that portfolio in the lead up to a potential election, I think is likely what's going on behind the scenes.
A petition to recall Schulz was initiated earlier this month. She's one of 25 MLAs facing recall petitions. The Premier says Grant Hunter, MLA for Tabor-Warner and Associate Minister for Water, will be sworn in as Alberta's new Minister of Environment and Protected Areas. The Alberta government has completed the final legal foundation of its new healthcare system. The Premier says the new year will be about proving her government's changes are worth it. Alberta Health Services is no longer the provincial health authority. It's now only responsible for hospitals. Other ministries are covering continuing care, primary health, and mental health and addictions. Instead of one health minister, there are now 4. The government says Albertans can expect timely access to a primary health care practitioner, shorter wait times for surgery, consistent access to continuing care, and expanded access to mental health and addiction treatment. The city handed out 132 tickets during the latest parking ban. The Phase 1 ban started Sunday and lifted today at noon. In addition to the tickets, 21 vehicles were towed, 7 warnings were issued. City crews are still working to clear some windrows, including those in business improvement areas and ones blocking sightlines in school zones. The Phase 2 parking ban will begin for residential roads sometime in the new year. People who don't move their cars could be fined $250 towed or snowed in. Well, Calgarians are facing deja vu tonight as the city rushes to repair a rupture on the same water main that burst last year. It happened last night along the Trans-Canada Highway, catching drivers off guard. Firefighters rescued 13 people from their vehicles. Some had to scramble onto their roofs as the water rushed in. CTV's Jacqueline Wilson reports.
Now that the gushing water has been shut off to this site, an assessment of the water main is underway.
This is a catastrophic break along the same feeder main that broke in June 2024, on which we made a series of repairs.
This section of broken pipe was installed in 1975 and carries about 60% of Calgary's water. The city says it was being monitored and all systems were working normally.
We have to fix the pipe, and until we completely replace the pipe, this is a ticking time bomb that Calgarians will continue to live with.
One University of Calgary engineering associate professor says a lack of proper funding is causing major issues.
If you look over the last 50, 60 years, we've seen a decline in the amount of funding that's been allocated to municipalities for infrastructure from the federal and provincial governments, and that's across the board. What we need is a major infusion of federal and provincial dollars into our core infrastructure.
There is a boil water advisory for those who live in nearby Parkdale, Montgomery, Point McKay, and West Hillhurst. Even though some additional water is coming from the Glenmore treatment plant, Calgarians are being asked to follow Stage 4 water restrictions.
This means that outdoor water use, such as flooding rinks, snowmaking, or other large outdoor water use is currently prohibited in the city. Indoor facilities, such as pools, rinks, and recreation facilities are advised to implement their water reduction plans.
Surrounding cities like Airdrie, Chestermere, Strathmore, and Sutina are also being asked to conserve water.
Please limit your showers to 3 minutes. Flush toilets only when necessary. Run dishwashers and washing machines only when they're full.
Connor McDavid will soon represent Canada at the Olympic level alongside superstars like Sidney Crosby and Nathan MacKinnon. NHLers are playing for Olympic gold for the first time in more than a decade. As Jeremy Thompson reports, a number of high-profile players, including some Oilers, didn't make the cut.
Right off the hop! It's been about a year since the NHL's four-nation face-off ramped up international rivalries. The scaled-down tournament was capped off in overtime by Connor McDavid.
Marner waiting. Connor McDavid scores! Connor McDavid for Canada!
From the moment that Connor McDavid scored that goal at the Four Nations face-off, Canadians have been debating this roster. Who should be on it? Who should not be?
Canada's Olympic roster was revealed today with help from 25 youngsters from Hockey Calgary.
Connor McDavid, Newmarket, Ontario.
Yeah, obviously very similar to the one we had at Four Nations. A couple changes here and there, but obviously disappointed for the Oilers guys first and foremost.
Oilers' Zach Hyman, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and Evan Bouchard were in the discussion, but ultimately left off Team Canada. Other countries have yet to announce their rosters, but Leon Draisaitl is considered a lock for Germany, while defenseman Matthias Ekholm might make the cut for Sweden.
Don't get me wrong, don't count out the Viking, but age might have caught up to him a little bit, but we'll see what they do. Maybe he does make the team.
Only 5 players from the Four Nations squad will not play in Italy. Two-time Cup winner Sam Bennett, the most notable. Canada has added young forwards Macklin Celebrini and Nick Suzuki and 2 new goalies to complement Jordan Bennington. Only 2 players were on the roster the last time NHLers were allowed at the Olympics, when Canada won gold in Sochi 2014.
Drew Doughty and Sidney Crosby, old guys. It's crazy to say that, but yeah, they're back. They have a wealth of Olympic experience.
Cazzola says there's only one outcome that will satisfy the country after finishing 6th 4 years ago in Beijing.
Gold is the standard, no question. It's gold or bust.
The Olympic tournament begins February 11th. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Kaylin Mitchell is filling in for Josh today and joins us now for our first look at weather. Kaylin.
Thank you, Jeff, and an early Happy New Year to all of your viewers. And speaking of New Year's Eve, let's talk about the weather conditions we can expect in around the Edmonton area and generally for the province of Alberta. Now, today we've had that light mixture of some snow and the freezing rain in the vicinity of the city. That was expected. So right off the bat, if you're heading out, just be careful about any slick spots that may have developed on some surfaces. That little risk of freezing rain is going to carry on into the first part of this evening, but should be coming to an end by the time we get to around around midnight. We'll be ringing in the new year in the Edmonton area with temperatures of around -6 and a light wind out of the northeast. As for New Year's Day, there will be some snow developing by the start of the morning, with that period of snow ongoing into the early afternoon. You can expect some amounts of around 1 to 4 centimeters with a northeast wind that'll be around 10 kilometers per hour. The temperature ticks down slowly throughout the day for tomorrow. So starting off in the morning around -8, head down to around -9 by noon, and then -10 by 4 p.m. Speaking of 4 p.m., that chance of snow, or that snow that we've been seeing in the morning hours, will be down to a chance of flurries. So the chance of flurries will extend into and through Thursday evening. Here's a look at the snowfall outlook, basically, as we make our way through tonight and through the day on Thursday. And you can see the potential for a couple centimeters in around the Edmonton area. However, if you are driving up towards Grand Prairie, be aware that the snow for that part of the province is expected to be steadier and may accumulate a little bit more. So if you're headed that way on the roads, you may run into some snow-covered road conditions. I'm going to have more on the extended forecast when I'm back just a little bit later on. Jeff.
Thank you, Kalen. Many Edmontonians will be taking cabs and transit tonight to get around during New Year's Eve events. An Indigenous woman in Edmonton is offering an alternative driving service to help others feel safe and comfortable. Miriam Valdez-Carletti has more.
Hi, it's Regan with She Drives. Regan Gamble is helping Indigenous women get to their destinations safely, one call at a time with She Drives.
When I pull up somewhere and they have the smile and, you know, they get into the back seat and it's instant. It's like this instant bond.
Gamble is a residential school survivor. She says her past helped inspire her to create She Drives.
I feel all of the pain and everything inside that I had to endure, and just want to turn it into purpose.
According to the Assembly of First Nations, Indigenous women make up 16% of female homicide victims. Gamble says Indigenous people often face discrimination and can feel uneasy driving with strangers.
I think it means a lot for Indigenous women because a lot of times we don't feel safe riding.
Nadine Cutarm has used She Drives twice. She's had bad experiences with Ubers and taxis and wanted an alternative option.
It just felt like I knew her. She made me feel really comfortable, and it was a really good ride.
Gamble says there's no limits of where she'll go to take people from point A to point B. She wants She Drives to be more than just a ride, but also a business you can trust when you're in trouble.
There have already been a couple of instances where a mother called and she was so distraught, and her daughter was in a domestic with her boyfriend.
While some people might not want to talk during a taxi ride, Gamble wants to be an emotional support.
Every day it's such a gift, every ride, because there's something that I take from it, and there most definitely is something that they take as well.
Because sometimes the journey is just as important as the destination. Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
Coming up next, a funeral for a father. Family remembers a man who died after hours waiting in a hospital emergency room.
He always smiled like he was like the best dad to the wind for me. Like nobody could replace him.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
The funeral was held this morning for a man who died last week in an Edmonton hospital's emergency department. CTV's Gates Guarin was there.
Prashant Srikumar is being remembered as an intelligent and hardworking person who had a deep sense of love for Canada.
He would always say, I'm born in India, but I'm built by Canada.
Many gathered to pay their respects to Srikumar, who died last week at the Grey Nuns Hospital Emergency Department. His family says he waited over 8 hours for care before dying in his wife and father's arms. Naharika Srikumar overcome by emotion as family and friends gathered in support.
If I am the body, Prashant is the soul. I will cherish and live with the memories I have created with my soul.
A family friend looked back on memories with Prashant, remembering him as a man who put his family first.
He was great to his kids. And how professional he was, how easy he was to work with, and how honest he was.
His oldest kids spoke about the lessons and advice he had given them, to lead not just through words, but by example.
And now, more than ever, I find myself holding on to his words, replaying them, realizing that just how much of who I am came from him. He always smiled like he was like the best dad to the wind for me. Nobody could replace him.
In a statement, the Premier's office extends her condolences to the family. A full review with Acute Care Alberta and Covenant Health has already been ordered. Those working in Alberta's emergency departments say more needs to be done to prevent deaths like this.
We have a waiting room full of sick, dying patients who we can't get in. This is a failure of the system and a healthcare system failure, and we need independent public investigation.
While Sri Kumar's death brings to light the challenges being faced in Alberta hospitals, his family will remember him as a son, a brother, and a father.
I promise you this, I will not waste whatever you gave me. I'll carry your name with honor and I'll make you proud.
Gates Gorin, CTV News, Edmonton.
2025 has been a year of transition for the Edmonton Police Service. A new police chief is in place with big plans for the EPS.
I think as an organization we need to grow and mature, and now I have that opportunity to kind of lead that change.
Warren Dreichel was sworn in this fall, succeeding Dale McPhee as head of the EPS. Dreichel, reflecting on a year of public safety work in Edmonton, spoke about his ideas to improve public access to EPS services using virtual technology. He also addressed the force's at times turbulent relationship with Crown prosecutors and City Council, saying things have improved in both cases by focusing on communication. Dreichel says Edmonton's population explosion over the last couple of years has changed the city and policing it.
Policing is expensive. It continues to rise, the cost of policing, the demands on policing continue to increase, but there's no infinite bucket of money to pay for these things. And again, with a growing city like Edmonton, we are not the only ask of money, right? So we have to kind of find that place to say, here are the priorities of the organization, here's where we think we need money or we need that support of council, but also recognize the challenges that they have trying to balance a budget across a rapidly growing city.
Dreichel says the city's growth has seen changes in crime, notably the complexity of investigations like Project Gaslight, where organized crime was behind arsons, shootings, and extortions plaguing South Asian homebuilders. He says there's more violent crime, more guns, and more youth involvement in gangs. Still to come, how an Alberta taxi driver went above and beyond when he picked up a pregnant woman in a snowstorm.
This was a wonderful memory for my whole life.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
An Alberta taxi driver is being praised for helping bring a new baby girl into the world during a snowstorm. Hardeep Singh Tour has been driving in Calgary for checker cabs for 4 years. He arrived to pick up a guest and was left waiting. He eventually saw a pregnant woman struggling to the cab with someone else helping her. There wasn't time to wait for an ambulance, so he drove through the storm to take her to hospital. The baby was born within 2 blocks in the back of his cab.
I was shocked, like when I see this lady, she was really in pain. This was a wonderful memory for my whole life.
Checker Cabs is offering congratulations to the newborn's family and calls Hardeep a true hero. And Kaylin's back now with another look at weather. Kaylin.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. Well, no surprise, but it's going to be a New Year's Eve to bundle up for around the province of Alberta. The coldest temperatures, of course, in the north. And you can see that around midnight tonight, those are going to be well down into the minus 20s. For Edmonton, by around midnight, closer to minus 6, minus 9 at Red Deer. And then Calgary at around minus 2, Lethbridge at around minus 1, and minus 7 at Medicine Hat. Taking a look at our future cast for cloud cover and precipitation. So, of course, today we had that light mixture of snow and freezing rain within the vicinity of the city. Again, that precipitation is coming to an end as we make our way through this evening. Be careful about slick spots. During the overnight, it's going to be cloudy, and much like last night, there might be some patches of fog or even a little bit in the way of some fine ice crystals, just restricting visibility here and there as we head into the start of the day for tomorrow. Now, tomorrow morning, we have this front that's coming in from BC, and there's going to be some snow along that front, basically stretching from the area from Grand Prairie and then straight towards Edmonton. Now, Edmonton throughout the day, I mentioned this earlier, maybe picking up around 1 to 4 centimeters of snow, but more snow possible up towards Grand Prairie, where at least locally and around the area there could be 10 to 20 centimeters of snow that accumulates throughout the day. There is another round of some snow expected on Friday for Edmonton, and it could be similar amounts, so maybe another 1 to 4 centimeters to close out the week. Taking a look at our temperatures for tomorrow morning, these will also be the daytime high temperatures for many communities. So talked about earlier, temperatures are slowly expected to come down in a northeast wind basically throughout the day for tomorrow. So Edmonton, -8 in the morning. By around mid to late afternoon, the temperature will be closer to -10 or -11. High temperatures tomorrow at high level in Fort McMurray, closer to -23. Grand Prairie, -15 with that snow in the forecast. -17 at Cold Lake. For Red Deer tomorrow, the high temperature around -5, -14 at Lloydminster. And for Calgary, around -3 in the forecast. Lethbridge, -2, and Medicine Hat, -6. Here's a look at your 5-day forecast. And for Edmonton, another amount of snow, 1 to 4 centimeters in the forecast for Friday. Again, the morning temperature -13. That'll also be the high temperature for the day, as temperatures will continue to fall throughout the day on Friday, fall straight on into Saturday morning, and early Saturday morning we start with a temperature closer to -20. The daytime high on Saturday around -15, flurries in the forecast. After that on Sunday, it's a chance of seeing some flurries, high temperature around -15, and a cold start to next week with a mix of sun and cloud on Monday. Here's a look at our extended forecast over the next 10 days. Temperatures moderating just a little bit Tuesday into Wednesday of next week. Wednesday's temperature with that high of around -6. That's pretty close to the seasonable average for the first part of January. It does get a little bit colder on Thursday with a chance of some flurries. And then after that on Friday and Saturday, looking at a mix of sun and cloud. And with that said, again, Happy New Year and all the best to everyone in 2026. Jeff.
Same to you. Thanks, Kaylin. Well, we are just hours away from the big New Year's party in New York's Times Square. This week, a crowd of people got to test the confetti ahead of tonight's celebration.
3, 2, 1, Happy New Year!
Just a small test to check if the confetti is airworthy and will be as camera-ready as it can be on the big night. At midnight, the city of New York will drop 3,000 pounds of confetti, which is about 1,400 kilos. Every single piece of colored tissue paper has a wish printed on it, all submitted by people from around the world. This year's wishes include thoughts of happiness, a healthy family, and civility. Some nice thoughts heading into a new year. When we return, one of the country's highest honors, the Edmontonians newly appointed to the Order of Canada. Stay with us.
CTV News at 5 continues.
Programming brought to you by Basement Systems Edmonton. Contact us today for all things basement-y.
A number of Edmontonians have been appointed to the Order of Canada. Chris Dodd, a deaf performing artist, playwright, and accessibility advocate, is now a part of the order. He founded the National Theatre Festival Sound Off, which has provided professional opportunities for other deaf performing artists for nearly 10 years. Bert Crowfoot, founder of the Aboriginal Multimedia Society of Alberta, is also now a part of the order, as is Phyllis Arnold, an educator and former writer. Eddie Isaacs has also been appointed. He's known for driving energy research in Alberta. Dr. Lauren Tyrrell is getting promoted to a companion. That's the highest designation in the Order of Canada. Tyrrell leads groundbreaking virology research at the University of Alberta. And that is our show for this evening. Thank you very much for sharing your time with us. Happy New Year.